Hey guys, it's your old boy Stan Wolf, and I'm back. And yes, I know I've kind of abandoned you this week. Real life work stuff kind of got in the way, and I just kept having some pretty late evenings, and I just didn't have a lot to go off of. Really, a lot to show off this week. So yeah, we'll try to get back into the swing of things a little bit. Haven't I said that like the last 3 episodes though? It's just kind of gotten away from me a little bit, and I know you guys are wanting to see some updates on this, and kind of maybe some of you are even wanting to wrap this up after a couple months of me torturing you with my Pine Creek Zoo mischief. But we are pressing on. This kind of little idea I come up with, kind of like this little custom aviary. I kind of wanted to, this looked a lot cooler in my head than it actually came out, because I was trying to kind of mimic it off my buddies. My buddy Woody did a really awesome aviary in Planet Coaster that I used in my Planet Coaster zoo. And I kind of just tried to go off that a little bit here. Got the really, like, almost like the glass pyramid, have the really just, accentuated wooden, like, girder support system. We've got the Asian towers here. I need to put like a little double door here, kind of like maybe like 2 screened in doors, like they would normally have to keep the birds from getting out. I brought in my old Wolf's Den facade to kind of break up this little part of the dome. And if you don't actually like to be in there with the birds, because birds freak some people out. I also have this little caged in area down here that you can look up at them and see them fly by and pecking around and eating. And I still have to figure out a good little ground game for in here. Right now I just have Carlos G's like his topiary type of tree up in there. But I think, I've still got to come up with a pretty good ground scheme inside of there. But I think this just complements the little Asian area really well. Kind of gives another thing to kind of pull you that way. And this is another little break I took, kind of like another little implied exhibit, if you will, before we get back like into the Tiger Temple, the tiger area. But one thing that I think really probably Ruby, she probably noticed this if she's kept up with the series. My buddy Zekin, he's probably noticed. But one thing I know Coaster Designer has absolutely noticed. But the one thing about this project going on, like as far as we have, and like getting right in here, particularly with the panda exhibit, this is getting too much in the realm of Stan Wolf, isn't it? Like, that's the one thing, like, really, I think starting with the African area, the park really started to lose, I think, that kind of like that realistic flair, the realistic feel I was going on almost. I mean, because it's like I said, if an elephant bridge isn't Stan Wolf, I don't know what is. So I think like the latter part, look at the lioness up there on that. That's awesome. I think the latter part of this zoo, not saying it's a total bad thing disaster, but I think it did get away from us a little bit. Oh, she's taking a poo up here. I think it kind of sunk into the realm of Stan Wolf a little too much, and it got away from itself a little bit as far as keeping up with the backstage area. And just look how, like, when the park first started, like we've got the ticket area and just like the management area, we've got the really kind of laid back beaver exhibit. Over here we've got the really, I think, come across as a really cool, realistic red panda village. But once kind of like you started moving over into the African area, and even I think I kept the Fender's Farm area pretty sane, pretty subdued, but got a little carried away with Africa, I do think, and I will admit. Even though, I think the area come out awesome, but like I said, might have went a little overboard with all of this as far as what we were trying to do. This right here is like the little meerkat, my little implied meerkat exhibit. And but yeah, like I said, I'm not like, you know, ashamed it come out this way, or like bashful it came out how it did. But the African area and then moving over into the Asian area, the park really just kind of got away from itself a little bit of like the original intention of making this like a nice little normal budget kind of, you know, wholesome type zoo. This really kind of started knocking on the door of too much S. Dan Wolfe. And, you know, I think, like I said, now the next zoo, that will be, I think, totally acceptable. That is going to be, you know, more fantasy realm, huge exhibits, you know, glass tunnels. We'll really try to get a good design going and push the envelope in the next zoo whenever we start it. But I just, you know I didn't want to let you guys down with going crazy again, like I normally do. And, you know, that's one of the things that brought you guys, that really brought so many people to the series. And, you know, I was even talking to N7 about it, Mike Sheets, and how this type of design just brought so many people over that may have not given me a look because of the original, you know, craziness that I'm kind of known for, the really out there, you know, Universal Studios, Islands of Adventure, Disney type builds. So, you know, it's just one of those things. I kind of, and, you know, to totally be honest with you, here at the end, past the realism part, I kind of just started running out of steam with the zoo here. The lake and everything came out really, really cool. Really happy with how that come out. Love the little North American area. But once we were like in the, I guess I'll just say the middle of the African area, that's when I kind of really, and I'm sure a lot of you guys that may have been around me for a while may have noticed, that's, I think, when I really started throwing stuff at the wall to see if it would stick. But Ruble Trillions, coming from the realism side and the realism background that he comes from, and watching even, you know, Mass Bandit has been taking a break, but when he does put out episodes, it gives me a ton of new ideas. I think that, like I said, I guess the best way I could describe it is the park got away from me a little bit. So, you know, but it's just one of those learning things. I think if we ever go back and do another realistic zoo at some point, I think this was a good learning step to try to help keep me in check and to keep up with the original goal of the zoo. But like I said, I still think you guys are, you know, really having fun coming in and watching the zoo progress. And even though, you know, we're getting towards the end, really just proud of it. But I just didn't want you guys to think that I overlooked, you know, how kind of unrealistic and a little crazy I got, you know, starting over here in this area. But, you know, at the same time, a lot of you guys absolutely loved the tiered African system. But, you know, it's just one of those design things, one of those series things that happens. My buddy NutraHirsch, he gave me a lot of good points about we would still need a backstage like enclosure area for the pandas. You know, just kind of him and I were just kind of nitpicking some stuff like that. Coaster designer said he wants to see so just a couple more things kind of in here. Was talking about that kind of being a little bit of a dead space right there. But, you know, like I said, I think what we set out to do, we have started a pretty cool zoo. I know you guys are really looking forward to putting this on the workshop, and I think, like I said, once we finish up the Tiger Temple, if I don't come across any other animals that I want to make an exhibit out of, we will go ahead and wrap this series up. And like I said, what's going to be so cool is you're not going to have, since I've kind of, you know, dropped back a little bit and limited the scope of this zoo, you're not going to have a NASA computer to load this up and get through it and really get in and kind of see what I've done and enjoy yourself flying around and not having to worry about you know, being in stutter cam here. Here's our little black bears. They are one of the funnest to sit here and watch. Even in my other zoo, just going in and watching Waylon kind of play around. They are just so wholesome and cute and funny. picking at his belly. And, you know, another thing, too, guys, and I've been talking to Beyond Drew about this a little bit on Discord. I don't have my own Discord. I'm talking about, like, personally messaging him and Jonty, and I lurk around on the Bro Nation Discord a lot, Delady Signers sometimes. But talking to him, I'm just really, really needing a jolt of energy as far as DLC goes. You know, even just like with the monthly recap today, I was thinking, you know, I'm like, well, I need something to kind of go on. I need something big to happen. Some kind of new DLC announcement. I think a lot of you guys are kind of feeling like that. Some of you guys will even comment down below. You're like, honestly, I haven't played the game in months. I just like coming in and watching Pine Creek progress and watching the videos. I think it's like we were saying, we kind of need that little bit of jolt. It's kind of, even for me, with my ideas and all that's going on, even for me, it's been dead a little too long now. They've kind of pushed this, I think, as far as they can push it, as far as, like, you know, people kind of losing interest and ready to see something new. I just don't think this quietness is doing a good service to the longevity of the game at this point. I'm just thinking we kind of need some new stuff to happen now. I mean, like I said, even me with my kind of weird ideas, you know, I think, like I said, we just kind of, we need some stuff to happen. We need some good DLC. We need some animals. We need some new themes. And, you know, hopefully that's why I'm kind of holding off too about not starting the new zoo. Even today, what is today? February 27th? 28th, I still haven't even laid a first foundation brick in the new zoo because I'm just kind of waiting to see what's going to happen. I don't want to get a big entrance area and a ticket booth ready if we're going to get some kind of new theme, and then it's kind of like I have to delete a bunch of stuff, or it's too late to you know, to get in and design with that. So anyways, guys, yeah, I just wanted to give you a little Friday night update. We may jump in and get you another video out on Sunday if I can get this tiger area going like I want, or like I'm envisioning it. But yeah, thank you as always for stopping by and hanging out with me, and I'll catch you in the next video. Thank you. See ya.